Live from the UATV studio, this is the Dorm Room Sports Chat. I'm your host, Mike Rabin. From WildcatAuthority.com, Derek Basington. And from Camp Radio Sports Director, Zach Clark. Tonight, find out why goals aren't coming easy for the soccer team, why Kevin Parham is more than just a basketball player, and listen to why Deanna Graham thinks the gymnastics team has a bright future ahead of them. But first, Arizona coming off 3 straight losses, looking to steal one out in Southern California. USC Trojans hopped out to an early 17-0 lead after the first quarter when Nick Foles threw his first 2 picks of the season. Arizona trailed 27-12 at the half, which has seemed to be the trend this season. And just like the past 3 games, they came out strong in the third quarter, but came up short again for making the comeback. Cats fall to the Trojans 48-41. Some numbers from this game: 89 total points scored, 12 total touchdowns, and both quarterbacks combining for almost 900 passing yards and 8 touchdowns. It was a fun game to watch, a lot of excitement and big plays. But Derek, why does Arizona keep getting off to these slow starts?
Well, sure, it was a fun game to watch, I guess, if you're USC or you're neutral, you like points. But unfortunately, we go to the University of Arizona, we like W's, and we didn't get one. But obviously, slow starts have been common, like you mentioned. But the slow starts are just because they can't finish drives off, Zach. What they're doing is they're getting, as you saw, this is a perfect example. They got to the 40-yard line and they'll throw an interception or commit penalties. And it's just the youth of this team being showed right now.
Well, on their first 4 possessions, the Arizona Wildcats took the ball into USC territory, coming up empty all 4 times. And that's something that has to, once you get into enemy territory, you have to be able to put points on the board. And, those deep holes are really starting to hurt Arizona now.
Well, speaking of a deep hole, though, we talked about how pathetic Arizona's run game has been last week. You feel a little better about the run game, Zach. I mean, we actually outgained USC 129-114 this week.
Yeah, Keola Antolin had 15 carries, 87 yards. Kadeem carried 12 carries, 34 yards, 2 touchdowns, plus he had one in the air. And I'm not sure if I feel better about the Arizona run game per se, but I do feel better about their identity. And I think that the Wildcats have found a feature back in Kadeem Carey. He was virtually unstoppable.
Well, you look at the Arizona run game, and I think we talked about this when we did the broadcast this weekend. It's been the pass game. It's been the Nick Foles show for the first 4 games of the season. Then they start running the ball. But really, in that first half, they couldn't both get them going simultaneously until it's too late, until they're down by 17-plus points.
I mean, don't you believe that it still was the Nick Foles show? 41-53,
yeah,
425.
Absolutely. But it's too late. It's too late.
Absolutely.
Barkley was going the whole day. You can't play one half of football and expect to win, especially in a hostile environment like USC and against a caliber team like that. You're not going to win very many ball games.
Well, listen, Derek, we talked about the run game the past couple weeks, how bad it's been. It's got a little better. We finally outgained them. Another thing we've been talking about week after week, it just sounds like it's permanently scripted in this show now. Zendejas missed another extra point, blocked.
He missed 2.
Yeah, he missed 2 extra points.
He did miss 2.
What
do we do? But what do we do now? We just start going for it on 4th down and go for 2-point conversions when we score?
There actually was a coach in high school who did that, and every time, instead of a field goal or an extra point, he would go for 2, and his numbers were over 50% on conversions. And if you did the math, the numbers that they would receive from going for it, opposed to what they would have gone had they kicked, were higher.
See, now I got a math teacher on the show too.
But in college, but that's high school. We're talking high school football. That's not going to work at the college game. You have to be able to kick the football.
Yeah, you have to be able to kick it. I've been telling you guys for weeks I'm going to be the starting kicker come week 5.
I'm buying it now.
Yeah, Stoops called me up the other day. I'm obviously next in line here. I was 5 for 5 in practice.
My other concern on Saturday was, why did Bonanno continue to kick it in the direction of Robert Woods, who torched the Wildcats receiving? He gave him an opportunity to run the ball almost every time on the return. You got to go away.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up, because it's not just kicking extra points and missing field goals. It's the all-around special teams. You have drops on when they're getting punt returns. You have missed kicks, and you continually kick it to the best guy on the field. That's easy.
Poor game planning.
Yeah, poor game planning, and
just
poor execution. Bottom line.
Big thing though, guys. Foles threw his first 2 picks of the season quick, both in the first quarter. The surprise, though, he's attempted 236 passes in the first 5 games of the season. That's a lot of throwing to do, probably relating to how poor our running game's been. He's not making mistakes, but we're still losing.
Yeah, and I think I think you knew the mistakes would catch up to him. He wasn't going to have that streak going on forever. It's just the way it is. When you're forced to throw 50-plus times a game, Stoops said it before the season, we kind of thought he was joking, but they're throwing the ball 40-plus times a game, every game, and that's going to happen.
There's no surprise that the Arizona Wildcats are throwing the ball as much as they have. And if you look back, while Nick Foles may have struggled on Saturday early, he threw over 180 passes before recording his first interception. He's 14 touchdowns, 2 picks, 7-1. That's an excellent ratio.
Zach, what are you supposed to do when you're not getting stops? USC didn't punt the ball once in that game.
No.
You've got to throw the ball when you're behind consistently, and they've been behind in every single game. I don't think they've had a lead since the NAU game.
They have not, and the Trojans had 10 possessions, scoring 8 possessions, scoring 6 times. Shaq Richardson had an interception in the third quarter, and there was a turnover on downs late in the fourth quarter.
I'd say that's pretty efficient.
All right, I want to wrap this one up. We've lost 4 in a row. We haven't won since the first game of the season, but we're playing Oregon State, who's 0-4. Little worse position than we're in right now. Do we win a game finally on the losing streak?
I think you got to expect the W here if you're Mike Stoops.
I don't think you can expect anything at this point. I'm going to respectfully disagree with you on that one.
And that's fair. The Arizona Wildcats in the first game of the season defeated Northern Arizona. In the first game of the season, Oregon State was defeated by Sacramento State, a team, an FCS team as NAU is as well. So, I think if there is an upper hand, it has to go to Arizona on that alone.
And I agree. I think I'll get it done. I don't think you can expect it, but Arizona, I will say this, they battled in this USC game. I will give them credit for that.
They've had good second halves 2 weeks in a row, but it's all about the first half. And I got to tell you, it's a sad state of affairs that the Wildcats can't expect to win against an 0-4 team. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, you got to put a full 60 minutes together.
I think we're going to win next week. Coming up next, you can't win games if you don't score goals. More on why the soccer team is in big trouble.
I see those clones looking down on me, but unlike those clones, this dog is free. Oh Lord, it's a dog's life. Oh Lord, it's a dog's life, dog's life. Oh Lord, it's a dog's life.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff, the Hoff. Get Hoff with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
The Arizona women's soccer team has played 10 games this season. They have yet to win and hold a dismal record of 0-8-2. Now, it's one thing to lose close games, but they've been shut out in 8 of the 10 contests. In fact, opponents have outscored the soccer team 23-4 this season. Zach, what's up with this team right now?
Well, I think that you just identified the problem. The goal ratio is severely skewed in the wrong direction. But you have to remember that this team is not facing low-caliber opponents on a regular basis. They were defeated last week by Stanford, 7-0, and Stanford the best team in the nation right now concerning women's soccer. So, you have to score goals, and 4 goals in a 9-game span or a 10-game span is just not enough.
It's not good enough, obviously. Well, they scored today. I think they lost 3-1 to Utah, was it?
Yeah, they've scored. I guess today they've scored in consecutive games, which is a first.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna. Right. Well,
okay,
step in the right direction. I guess
that's definitely a step in the right direction. Derek, do you feel this is a coaching problem?
I think when you lose this many games, when you're still without a win with this part of the season, I think it's an everything problem. It's a coaching problem. It falls on anything. When you're this bad, it's not just one issue. When you're I think they've let even 3 goals, 4 goals. They've allowed 7 goals in a game earlier, I believe. It's everything. It's not just the lack of scoring goals, and I think it's hard, especially at the collegiate level. When you get on a losing streak, it's hard to kind of regain confidence.
But Zach, before you talk, I want to direct this to you. Why are goals so hard to come by right now for them?
Well, it has to be a combination of things. If you sit back and look at it, one, there has to be a discipline issue. You have to be patient, especially in a game like soccer where, for the most part, goals are so hard to come by. It's not like basketball where you have 80 points in a game and 50 baskets. 1-0 is a very common soccer score. So, secondly, also, their opponents have been high caliber. They're playing against great goalies, and a good goalie keeps it tight as shit.
Absolutely. And execution in soccer is one of the most important things. And it's important to execute in all sports, obviously. But if you can't execute a header when it's crossed into the box, if you're slightly off, it's not going to go in the goal. And especially, as you mentioned, they've been playing high-quality goalies, high-quality opponents. And you're not going to get 5 goals. You're not going to get many opportunities to score in soccer. So when you get those opportunities, you have to put it. You have to put it in there.
Well, here's the thing, though. The team morale right now is obviously really low. I mean, Derek, is there anything they can do right now to bring it up at this point of the season?
I'm going to steal this one.
Wow, thanks.
And I'm going to tell you, it's very simple. They have to
games.
win.
Yeah, you gotta
they
win
have
games.
to win.
Wow, great analysis there. But
Well,
that's really all I had.
But sometimes you don't have to dig deep and go through the layers and overanalyze what's going on. Morale is equal to success. No success, no morale.
And this
All
is-
right, no, finish the topic then. Are they going to win a game this season?
I think they will. They've got
it's
to.
a long season.
They've
They
got to
have
win a game,
to.
right?
I'm going to say yeah, 100%.
We all know the Lions.
No.
Here
We're
we
not-
go.
100%.
We're not going there. Stay seated. Deanna Graham joins me under the Bear Down Spotlight when we come back.
And now it's time for the Bear Down Spotlight, brought to you by UATV.
Next to me is senior gymnast Deanna Graham. How's it going?
It's going really great. I'm really excited to be here today.
Are you ready to go into the Bear Down Spotlight?
Oh, I think I'm ready.
All right,
I hope
we're
so.
starting it off right now. You guys placed 5th in last year's regional championships. Is that still lingering with you guys this season?
It's definitely something that's all in the back of everybody's head, I think. We definitely want to improve this season, and it's something that's really been motivating us throughout every practice.
And I mean, how do you build on that this season?
I mean, it's just all about getting in the gym and putting our work in, being confident in each other and ourselves. I think is something that we're going to really work on this season.
All right, you just mentioned putting the work in. How have you guys been preparing this off season right now?
Oh man, we've been in the gym all summer. This gymnastics is a year-round sport, so we don't take time off. We get a week off during Christmas if we're lucky, and that's about it. So we've been in the gym practicing all summer. Mandatories just started for us last week. Was our first full week of mandatories, I guess, and it went really well.
Okay, and I was with you guys Friday. I saw you guys practicing. Everyone seemed pretty positive right now. What's the attitude's been like right now for everybody?
The attitude in the gym is really fierce. You walk in there and it's just everybody is ready to get their work done. And it's definitely a motivating attitude. Gymnastics, I mean, we're in there 4 hours a day, so it's really helpful to have all your teammates being, helping you get motivated and get through your workouts. So.
Yeah, and honestly, I know injuries, that came back to bite you last year because your depth was an issue. But
yeah.
Tell me about this season. I understand you got a bunch of new.
Yeah, we're a lot healthier this season. I mean, gymnastics is just one of those sports where injuries are very, very common. But we are healthier this season. I don't want to, jinx anything, but we're working in the weight room, keeping our muscles strong. That always prevents injuries. And we're on a new diet plan, and we have protein shakes. That is all there to help us stay healthy in the gym.
Coach Rhino was telling me about that.
Yeah.
Tell me about the new freshmen that you guys got on the team this year.
The freshmen are awesome this year. All of them will definitely be contributing to the competition season, and that's something really exciting, having a freshman come in and be able to contribute so much. Having a young face in there is awesome.
Now, and I know you guys changed the way you're approaching this season, and like you just said, you have the new protein shakes. Can you expand more on that? I know you guys have meals too now.
Yeah. This season is the first time that we've ever had meal tables, and all of the meals are planned for Aspire nutritionists. They're actually really good. We get them 3 times a week after practice. They're ready for us, and they're just healthy meals for gymnasts. And we get the protein shakes after practice, and they taste really good. So
that's awesome.
It's a bonus, I guess.
All right, and now this one's more directed to you. What can you individually improve on to be more successful this season?
I think this season, confidence is definitely something that I'm going to work on. I mean, gymnastics is one of those sports where if you lack confidence, you're done. You have to be really confident in yourself, and your abilities and, you know, putting in that work, it all matters at the end. So I think that's something that I'm going to work on.
All right, and it's the big time right now, senior year.
Oh, man, it went by so fast.
It did, but this is the year that you're going to make it count. How do you show some leadership right now, lead these girls this season to be successful?
I mean, this year all of us seniors are trying to just lead the pack to nationals. I mean, that's our goal. That's been our goal every year. But this year, it's looking really promising. We've got a group of gymnasts in there that are all dedicated and working really hard. And yeah, I mean, it's just our goal for nationals, and we're just in the gym every day just trying to cross that line and get there.
All right, and last question. What's it going to take for this team to get to nationals this year? I know it's a tough one.
Man, that's a tough one.
You're on the spot, though.
I mean, I guess I'd have to go back to the practice in the gym. I mean, it really depends on how you practice. If you're in there every day practicing with the goal of nationals in your mind, I think that's something that's really going to get us there, because you can go in there and go through the motions every day, but I think it's really having that goal and doing everything in the gym for that goal. So.
All right, Deanna Graham, you are out of the Bear Down spotlight. Thanks so much for coming on this show.
All right, well, thank you for having me.
Keep up the hard work. Gym Cats begin their season on January 6th, hosting Cancun. It's too bad you guys can't go there.
I'm so excited.
It is. All right, next up, why a 20-year-old's life is more important than his skills. Don't go anywhere.
UATV 3 UATV 3 When I turn on the TV, I turn it to channel 3, cause they got all the greatest shows that I've been waiting to see. It's entertaining to me, cause it's pertaining to me and all the other Wildcats in the student body. We're broadcasting live to all the residence halls, so all y'all's in the halls, turn your TVs on to channel 3 for Sheezy, so you can see me and all the other happy people down at UATV 3.
Basketball player Kevin Parham traveled all the way to New York City last weekend to take care of his ailing mother. Around 1 a.m. on Saturday, two men knocked on the door at the residence Parham was staying at in the Bronx. After a dispute that occurred, Parham was shot in the back of the right knee and suffered wounds to his left hand. He was taken to a hospital in stable condition and has told media that he is okay and can walk. Now, this is a tragic event. I mean, this kid's 20 years old. He's younger than all of us. And I mean, it just seems that he's shot, and the first thing everybody worries about is he going to be back in time for the season, and how's that going to affect the team? And I mean, that's bad, guys.
Well, and this is a problem that happens at the college level and at the pro level as well. People don't understand that they see them as a product, as a commodity, an asset, if you will. And a lot of times it is forgotten that these are human beings we're dealing with, and this is a child. He's going home to see his mother, whom he lives 3,000 miles away from. And the first question on everybody's mouth is, when is he going to play? And my question is, who cares? Is he going to be okay? That's all I need to know. I'm not concerned at this moment, at least, with his ability to play basketball. When he's ready to come back and play, we'll be ready for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you look at what the statements that Greg Byrne, the athletic director here, and what Sean Miller said. They basically said, similar to what you're saying. Look, basketball is second. Basketball is the last thing we're focusing on. We just want this kid to be okay. And I think really what it comes down to, Zach, is that these guys are role models for the students on this campus, to kids everywhere. So these guys are high-profile athletes, whether they want to be that one or not, and people pay their season tickets to see these guys play, and whether it's fair or not.
I want you guys to build on that too, though. I mean, do you feel that Greg Byrne and Coach Sean Miller have handled the situation to the best that they could right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they said exactly what you want to hear. I think think of Kevin Parham's family, his mother,
Absolutely.
his father, his brothers, sisters. That's what they want to hear. They don't care if he plays basketball. He's going to be loved no matter what.
Right.
And I think that's the most important thing. And that's what Sean Miller and Greg Byrne really try to stress. I think it was really good to see that they're on the same page on this one.
Yeah, and this one
it's a no-brainer.
It is, and this one's pretty simple as far as that's concerned, because there are very few points in time in the last couple of years when Greg Byrne and or Sean Miller have not done the right thing. I mean, they're almost always on point, and they really understand that they're student athletes, and the first word is
Students
student. They're
first.
not athlete students. They're student athletes, and their well-being is so important that Greg Byrne and Sean Miller in a big way are in charge of taking care of Kevin Parham to nurture his talent and develop him as a human being. And
Really,
I think they nailed it.
Sean Miller's a father figure to him.
Absolutely.
Really, when he's on campus, Sean Miller is a father figure to all these guys on the basketball team, and
that's the
I
way
think
it has
that's
to
what
be.
people has to realize, and that's why this team is so tight.
And I want to ask you guys on a more serious note, athletes today and at all levels and professional too, they're put on such a high pedestal and expected so much of fans. And then when they get arrested or suspended or injured, has this world come to that people are more worried about how that's going to affect the team or these instead of what's really going on with these players?
Well,
Yeah.
It's sad. Yeah, it's sad. But that's just reality. In college athletics, especially, the college athletics makes so much money. That's why they bring the communities together, and that really separates it from any other program on a college campus just because of the money they generate. And it's a business, unfortunately.
It is. And I mean,
not saying it's right.
Right, and let's be honest. This is Arizona. Basketball makes the world go round here, and but I really hope that people can get past the is he going to play again or when is he going to play again, because right now it's just not important. And I think that the administration here has made that very clear, and that's extremely important.
But I think at the same time, you have to give a little shout out to fans. I've seen them on Twitter, on Facebook. There are a good amount of fans that really are praying for the guy just to get healthy. The Arizona fans are some of the best in the nation. I think I can say that, even
guys,
unbiased.
The good news is that Parham has told the media that he can walk, but here's the big thing. How do you think he can mentally come back from, a tragic event like this? He's only 20 years old.
That's a good question, because I've never been shot. I can't honestly say I've been
no.
shot. I don't know how he's going to deal
The
with
gravity
it.
of that situation is something that's beyond me. And but I think that a lot of times when, especially athletes like this, basketball for Kevin could be a place that he gets. It's his safe place. It's his happy place. A place where he can get back to, and a place where he really feels that he is himself. And I think that in the future, when his injuries have healed, he's going to want to get back on that court and get back to a sense of normalcy.
And you hear it all the time, because I'm glad you brought that up. Really, basketball can be an escape for him once he gets back on the court. And this Arizona basketball team, it's not a team, it's a family, and everybody.
And that's important.
I think if you followed any of the Twitter feeds of Solomon Hill, Max Weeping, they are sending their prayers out to him and really encourage. I think this is going to be a team effort, and I think in the end, this will make this team a lot stronger.
All right, well, the basketball team debuts in the Red-Blue game on October 22nd. We'll keep you updated on the health of Kevin Parham here at the UATV studio. We wish you all the best and a healthy recovery. Now it's time to look at scores around the school and what to look forward to next week, too. Arizona at Oregon State for football. The soccer team. Oh, we're going back to scores around the school. Arizona tied 2-2 against Colorado. And the volleyball team fell short in the California and Stanford game. What to look forward to next week. The football team is playing at Oregon State. Hopefully it wins the game there. Soccer team playing Oregon and Oregon State, also looking for their first win. And the volleyball team hosting USC and UCLA. It's time for the final word. Each analyst will have 30 seconds to discuss the topic of their choosing. Derek, take it away.
All right, well, I've actually got kind of a public service announcement. My boy Jason Barrera just lost $300 on sports betting this weekend, so if anyone needs to help him out, 1-800-GAMBLER. Jason, buddy, you need to go get some help because sports are supposed to be fun. You're not supposed to be – I don't want to see you living on the streets. That's all I'm saying.
All right, that was a quick 30 seconds.
Boy.
Zach, you're going now.
Look, nothing's going to change from this week to last. For me, at least, the Lions are 4-0, back-to-back 20-plus point comebacks on the road. Looking back, they've won 8 games in a row, going back to last season. And then, of course, the Tigers earned a split in New York in the ALDS. They will go at home tomorrow, hopefully, to go up 2-1. Michigan is 5-0. Michigan State is 4-1 after defeating Ohio State 10-7 this weekend. So, it's good to be from Detroit, baby, and that's all there is to it.
All right, that's what Zach had to say. That's going to do it for the Dorm Room Sports Chat. Now, it was unfortunate what happened to Kevin Parham last weekend, but realize nobody's invincible no matter how old you are. For Zach and Derek, I'm Mike Rabin. See you next week.